Welcome back. It is the game plan video. It's Denver Broncos number 2 for this season. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's going to be a cakewalk. It's no problem. They can't even keep a head coach. Well, guess what? Sometimes that leads to more fight than you expect from a team that's in this situation. So we're going to run down for you today, Dan Harms and I on RGR Football. Welcome. If you're not one of us yet, make sure you like and sub. We're going to run down our 4 points right now that they have to do to get this W. And then we're going to hear from Gary about the stats that are going to show you how they can get it done. So let's not beat around the bush, Dan. What's the most important thing the Kansas City Chiefs need to do this week against the Denver Broncos?
You got to tackle. And we saw last week against the Seahawks that they were a tackling team. They were able to get to their ball carrier and bring them down to the ground without many missed tackles. Third lowest missed tackle mark on the season last week against the Seahawks. They only had a couple that were better, obviously, when you say 3. But that's the team that they want to be. They want to force everything underneath into the middle and then rally and tackle. We've seen multiple times, go back to the Bengals game, 15 missed tackles in that game. 15. It showed. You guys all felt like these guys can't bring anybody down. If you can tackle anybody, if you can funnel everything you want, the football into the middle of the field like it seems like the Chiefs want to do, and tackle, you're going to get everything that you want. You're going to get some incompletions. You're going to start to get teams forcing the ball outside a little bit when you can tackle underneath and not get let chunk plays happen. So Willie Gay, Nick Bolton, really Willie Gay, by the way, if you guys missed it, my film room this past week, all on Willie Gay, his best performance of the season. That includes tackling, 0 missed tackles from Willie in that game. Just bring everybody in, get these guys down to the ground. Don't make a production out of it. Tackle, and this game should be just fine.
Yeah, and that honestly leads right into mine as well. Number 1 for me is efficiency, whether it's on the defensive side, rushing with 4, pass rush has to get home. The DBs have to continue to rally, have to work together. Doesn't mean you're not going to give up passes. You do got to do that. On the offensive side, distribute the ball, get it out on tempo. Tempo is efficiency. Efficiency is clean. Clean is a win. That's the way that it has to progress for these Chiefs because they don't have time to mess around and let anybody claw back in. There's a bigger one that we'll get to in a second, but what's 3?
You know, efficiency for one guy could lead to a big day. Travis Kelce is 160 yards away from breaking his own record for most passing yards receiving yards in the season for a tight end. Let's see Travis Kelce hit it. When they're free and they're playing loose, that's getting Travis Kelce the ball. That's him getting those 30, 20-yard chunks at a time. That's when this team is most efficient. That's when they're the most effective. I want to see Travis Kelce get to that elusive, once again, record that he broke himself a few years ago. But, remember George Kittle breaking Travis Kelce's record the same day before that, and then Travis Kelce breaks that again the next year. So I want to see him do it again this year in a year where he's not getting the snap counts, but he's getting just as many targets as he always has. Travis Kelce for another week beating a Denver Broncos team would be awesome.
Yeah, and I got to say, the more that happens, the less snaps he has to play. These last 2 weeks, I think, are going to be important for getting rest for him. So, hey, let's power through it. The last one for me is across the board. Every single person from Alan Wright and getting the equipment ready to the pilots on the plane to everybody on game day. Killer instinct. Please. There is no choice. You have to make up for what you did last time you played this game.
Exactly.
This team. Always keep your foot down. It doesn't mean you have to put up 1,000 points, but you always have to be standing on their throat. This team should not be able to fight back, whether it's offense, whether it's defense, certainly if it's special teams. Their special teams coordinator is now their head coach as an interim. That should be an advantage for these Chiefs. Step on their throats. If you can do that, you can prove not only to yourselves, not only to the Broncos, but there's 2 other teams they're going to be watching very intently to see how you do this game. I want to send a message to the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, we might have let you in. We might have let you take one from us, but we're not done. That's the bigger picture for us. How do they do that? Well, first, they got Lichtenstein on this particular channel. And secondly, they listen to Gary about how you get all the stats that are the specifics of how you get that done. Let's get over to him. Make sure you get all that done. And here, get ready for this ball game. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's hit the stat primer. This is Gary here. This is the 125th matchup between the Chiefs and the Denver Broncos in the regular season. The Chiefs lead the series with a 70-54 record over the Denver Broncos. The Chiefs are looking for their 15th win consecutively versus this Broncos team. was just incredible. In their first matchup this season in Week 14, the Chiefs sacked Wilson and Ripien 6 times. The Chiefs won 34-28. The Chiefs' offense totaled 431 yards, while the Denver offense only totaled 320 yards. Mahomes went 28 of 42 for 352 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with an 86.6 rating. There was a lot of interceptions thrown by Mahomes in that game, so you're going to look for him to rebound versus the Broncos and take care of the ball. Denver was 3 out of 3 in the red zone in Week 14 versus Kansas City, which is a point of frustration for some Chiefs fans. And then the Chiefs were 5 of 12 on third down. So they did pretty well on third down versus a good Denver defense that plays well on third down. In terms of the two teams' offenses, the two teams couldn't be any more different. As we mentioned in Week 14, the Chiefs are in the top 5 in nearly every offensive category, while the Broncos are in the bottom third or dead last. In terms of yards per play, the Chiefs have the number 1 yards per play offense, ranking first. Denver is 25th, only getting 5 yards per play on offense. The two teams' passing offenses are also wildly different. The Chiefs are second in the NFL with 7.5 yards per pass attempt, while the Broncos are 27th, only getting 5.5 yards per pass attempt. The Chiefs are second in points per game. The Broncos are dead last. They've only scored 15.5 points per game this season. And then also the Broncos have not done a good job taking care of their quarterback, getting or allowing a sack on 10.1% of their dropbacks. They rank 31st. They rank 32nd in third down percentage. And in the red zone, they've done a little better. They've scored a touchdown in the red zone on 51.6 of their opportunities. Good for 23rd. Defensively, the Chiefs have given up the 11th most yards per play, while the Broncos have given up the 4th most. The Chiefs have done pretty good against the pass in 2022, ranking 10th, only allowing 5.7 net passing yards per attempt. The Broncos, however, are ranked second in that stat, only allowing 5.3 yards in their opponent passing attempts. Both teams have had a hard time turning their opponents over on the defensive side of the ball, with both groups getting a turnover on about 10% of their opponents' drives. The Chiefs' defense is only a couple points off of the Broncos' average for points per game allowed. The Chiefs rank 15th, giving up 22.1 points per game this season, while the Broncos rank 7th, giving up 20.3 points per game. Last week, the Broncos gave up 51 points to the Rams, which really hurt their points per game total. Without that game, they were doing much better. So this is still a pretty good defense the Chiefs are going to face off against. Even though they scored 34 points against them last time, they're a good defense. In terms of pressure percentage, the Chiefs have the 7th most pressures, the 7th most pressure percentage in the NFL, while the Broncos have the 20th. While the Chiefs blitz the 13th most, the Broncos blitz the 7th most. That tells me that the Broncos are blitzing a lot and they're not getting to the quarterback as much as the Chiefs defense is. On the other hand, the Chiefs are not blitzing as much and they're getting after the quarterback more. That means that the front four for the Chiefs defensively is doing a better job of creating pressures. Thanks a lot to Chris Jones. He's doing a lot of damage. He's been playing outstanding this year. So the front four for the Chiefs have been doing a better job at getting after the quarterback than the Broncos. In terms of third down defensively, the Chiefs have a pretty decent third down defense. They've given up a first down on 38.1% of their opponents' third down attempts, ranking them 12th, while the Broncos have given up a first down on 33.5% of their opponent third down attempts, ranking 4th. So the Broncos have a really good third down defense. The Chiefs' third down defense hasn't been bad. Lastly, we have the red zone percentage, and this is where Chiefs really need to improve. They've given up a touchdown on 68% of their opponents' red zone opportunities, ranking dead last in the NFL, while the Broncos have given up a touchdown on 44.7% of their opponents' red zone opportunities, ranking second in the NFL. Defensively, the Chiefs have been trending in the right direction, especially after last week versus the Seahawks, and you want to see them continue to do that versus a Broncos offense that should give the Chiefs an opportunity to improve this week. What to watch for in this game? The Chiefs passing offense versus Denver's passing defense. So the Chiefs have the second most efficient passing offense in the NFL, while the Broncos have the second best passing defense in the NFL. This is a strength versus strength matchup. And if Mahomes is able to throw the ball all over the field like he did in the first matchup, this should be a simple or an easier win for the Chiefs. But it's never an easy game when it's a divisional opponent. We'll have to see what happens Sunday. Another thing to watch is the Chiefs' red zone offense versus Denver's red zone defense. This is another key to the game. If the Chiefs are able to convert in the red zone, they should really bolster their chances for winning this game. The Chiefs are 5th in red zone offense, while the Broncos are 2nd. So this theme continues here. Really good offense versus really good defense. The Chiefs' third down offense also will play a factor in this game. They have the best third down offense in the NFL, while the Broncos have the 4th best third down defense. So if the Chiefs are able to keep moving the ball, score in the red zone, this should be a long day for the Broncos. Another thing to watch for in this game that I've highlighted is the Chiefs' red zone defense, ranking 31st in the NFL, versus Denver's red zone offense, ranking 23rd in the NFL. In their first matchup in Week 14, the Chiefs gave up 3 red zone touchdowns and 3 red zone opportunities for the Broncos. That's 100% if you do the math. So you want to see the Chiefs improve in the red zone defense. So when the Broncos get the ball in the red zone, I want to see the Chiefs be able to stop the Broncos from scoring. As far as predictions for this game, Ryan is predicting the Chiefs win 34-17. Dan is predicting the Chiefs win 30-14. I'm predicting the Chiefs win 28-10. And Seth is predicting the Chiefs win 27-17. So what are your predictions for this game? Drop your score prediction in the comments. Make sure you let us know different things you think will happen in this game. What are your keys? What are you looking for? And make sure that you like this video if you've not done so already, and you subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Really appreciate everyone who subscribed, liked, commenting, and contributes to this wonderful community we have at RGR Football. But that's all I got to say. Let's go Chiefs. Let's beat those Broncos. And here's to a good injury-free weekend versus Denver. Go Chiefs.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.